All right, yesterday on 11/3, the day before voting, Fox News had the headline of the 11th hour up pretty much all day long with the Mamdani, and the Antichrist line is connected to the Mamdani, and then he also voted in Queens were shown, and this is part of the Queens on the chessboard for the inhale exhale time frame, and the king's inside of you, and you can either move one position to this state or that state, or you can move a piece in front of it or whatever. But also, this is where Trump is coming in as a king for you, saying, hey, I'm going to stop funding New York, or Abbott is saying we're going to do 100% tariff on New Yorkers. But this is also tying into the dark light on DC, because when you went into the DC, when it went dark, you had the 100% tariffs and these things being shown, and then Trump did this back deal with China on this thing that we don't know the ins and outs on yet. But this is tying into the, more than likely, the Texas New York Stock Exchange. It's kind of being, or the Texas Stock Exchange is being opened up. That's starting in 2026, and your BlackRock and Citadel are all tied to these things. And then that's also tied to your 3i Atlas, that rock for the blue Kachina star for a resetting. And this is where crypto, Krypton, Superman, the Justin Sun all comes in, and it rises in the east as your darkness comes over on the west, and those types of things as you live in a yin and yang time frame where they're saying China is 10 years ahead of America in technology and whatnot. But so the midnight hammer, the 11th hour, this 25 carrying over on this 1 clock, and then the 9/11 clock that we're kind of into. But the 11th month, the 12th month for that midnight time frame. The 11th hour is November. The also today, the Dick Cheney died at age 84. It's Octo 4th, the 8/4 in the Hebrew calendar today. And then also it's the 4th month and 8th day of the Islam calendar that started on your 626, 627 days. And then also Operation Midnight Hammer started on 6/22/25. 188 days after that is your 12/26/25, which is a flip-flop with a mirror on the 6/22 at the that one in the front. So that's 88 clock, and that midnight hammer clock striking, and those types of things as you the destroy and the Troy ounces, the 999% purity or whatever, the destroy and the Trojan horse and all that with your Bitcoin and your all being wrapped up into the stable coins. And then a lot of your coins are just going to go kapoof probably, because they're not wrapped up in anything. They're just kind of that me thing where you're just kind of doing that short selling for the shortening of the days and the false prophets and all those things. Is anyway, so the BlackRock and them launched the trading. They hit keystone or key milestones. That key milestone is tying into your Manhattan size rock on the blue star being shown, and then now we can see it in that telescope. The airline's being grounded, working into that Y2K ready, which is the 11 12 11 25, these types of things. 11:10 clocks on the 25 going backwards, and then the 25 carries over as your computers and electronics and all those things have a time frame of carrying over. Once your car gets to a certain mileage and whatever, it carries over like on the old cars. And then the bomb threats today at the Reagan airport. The Reagan is the one who had that little hand shot, the 38 special per se, on the streets. And then he's also tying in, the Abbott, the Houston ports, the tariffs, Astro, the Jetsons, all that kind of thing. The Jim Carrey, all that's tying into those kinds of things is the Texas and the petrodollar, that debt system being bought out by the debt collectors, all that kind of thing is going into these little capstones as you're in the capstone of the capitalism, and this capitalism is peaked here, and now it's going to open up worldwide in a way. And we have the physical world, so-called ID system, the driver's license, the social security card, the credit card system. So this is where kind of there needs to be a clearing of this deep dark web in a way or whatever, so they can eliminate all your old emails that you haven't used in a way. And then also you verify your identification in person through your driver's license in this way for in the world you live in. But now you live in a spiritual world, the technological world, and now you're going to have to go into there and prove who you are in there. Okay, so this is kind of that parallel economy where you can have eventually the coins can be AI adapted to where, and then also the coins can be sterilized and whatever. But this is where you can have your coins and your blockchain and your Asia miners and all those things that were shown before going into this new kind of system and the new type of gold and whatever, where it actually be a gold coin with, or a silver coin with a chip in it that can be sterilized and all those things, as man is being kind of so-called alien man, the ones who have taken this, who are blown out of proportion, are just kind of set down and been infected by that symbiotic relation. That symbiotic relationship is coming as these phones and these things put off certain types of heat signatures you can feel in your pockets or whatever. These affect your body and bring things out to the open in a way. And this is where all this little things that we're shown in these high pitch frequencies, and these are all fucking hatching stuff within the DNA and the RNA within you. Okay, so, and then also the zombie apocalypse that we're shown. It's gonna get good, folks. The so those Texas stockyards, those Longhorns, all those are kind of playing into a role as that Dow-us quake and the Tron Dow and Black Rock and all that stuff comes crashing into the earth, to that rock, that asteroid, that Don Key comes crashing into that ice age and kills out those dinosaurs. And those dinosaurs are the people going into the hospitals and all these religions, so-called, this your sign, all this, the delusion that the world is under. Okay, so as that lie is being washed out, the soap's being washed out, the truth, the Jesus, the technology, whatever, where we're actually going, is going to be pushed out onto the world, and people aren't going to accept it as they've been programmed or whatever, and it's already been done anyways, but they're just going to be reborn into the next stage and however else. But the Abbots, the Greg Abbotman empire for the robots, and that Israel for the wheelchairs, all those would be playing a role for your little TSA cross session. It's just a part of working. We have this one thing that's been tracking. It's where you'd have like a pre-crime unit kind of coming up, where Elon Musk is saying the AI will know what you want before you know it, and those kinds of things by 2030 or whatever. We're going to get rid of the phone. This will also be tying into augmented reality, where you'd have your phone here, your iPhone, and then your glasses, and they show us these worlds where we're moving stuff around or whatever. That would all be, or your holographic projections or whatever, that would be on your phone and your glasses connected together. Because if you look back in time and you see the hologram games where you sit down in the floor or whatever, and you're in the dome world and all that, that's there. We're in that right now. And this is all, the holographic projection takes two things or whatever, and this is where we're all going. And that's why we're going to get rid of our phone. And this is all part of tapping into, we are antennas. We are living fungi, mycorrhiza, things that tap into this earth, and as above, so below, and the light of God is within all men, and this is a collective world that we live in through these mushrooms that we live in, and these mushrooms are going into the muskrooms and those things. But yeah, so the digital world, this is like where we've been in the darkness upon the deep, and now the light's being divided, the firmament's being divided, the beastmen, the technology, where they're not going to go forward. They're going to take the app, and this is also where they've taken from the apple, and they're going to become as gods, and they would get rid of that tree of life they've been given there. And then they're being told this, that, and the other with this man, Antichrist. He wants control, so you got to leave the world behind and make decisions for yourself and all those types of things. So either way, Trump not funding New York and the things going on in the garden, the backwards Oz and the Zoroaster per se, the Mamdani, the birth, all that is part of the dark garden, and the sun going dark. So as it goes dark on the west side, the sun turns up on the east side, and this is where Trump is tied to the World Liberty Financial on one side with the Texas and the BlackRock and the crypto side, and then DeSantis is doing plays with the gold and silver as far as physical payments and such. But anyway, we can see how all these things are wrapping into a new America, a new technological America. The old one's going to go in this old parallel system where the world you live in can be a cash-based system in a way. And then the digital world, everything that your banks, everything you've been doing for the past 20 years or whatever will have to be done on a digital platform. And they need to free up space. So this is where the MySpace comes in, where they got to come in and clear out your emails, and they've come in and told you these passwords have been taken, this passwords have been taken. It's all going to be for a cleansing effect to get rid of all the old and then bring in a new empty space for the new heaven and earth, for things to operate for the Web 3.0 and all those things that's going. Okay, so also one last point, we are all antennas, and everything is happening around us, and we can know this because when you used to turn on your TV and had that old antenna, you could tune into any channel at any time. The satellite dishes, they all point so-called in the same direction, and everything is there at one time, one point in time, and all these other things. And this word's taught to be still and be quiet and all those things that Jesus and Buddha and all the prophets say, because when you start taking action and moving and stuff, that Taurus field, that Torrid field or whatever that runs this earth starts controlling you, and you start getting interwound and all these other things. But this is also understanding the projection within you, and we are that antenna where God operates, and we can tune into the voice of God, which is within every single person. But that voice of God out there tries to control the voice of God in here, so you don't actually know God, and you don't know you're the Son of God, you don't know the Father's in you, you don't know the heaven's in you, you don't know anything, okay? But you're going to soon know, as your dark lights you've been following that have been brought to you bright are going to be taken out. And how many Aggies does it take to change the light bulb?